A call to order the regular council meeting for the Corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan, the 6th day of May 2026 at 7:01 p.m. As we gather this evening, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. We are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Roll call. Councillor Banks?
Yes.
Councillor Caulfield? Here. Councillor Keller?
Here.
Councillor Quad?
Present.
We have a resolution to adopt the agenda that reads that we, the council for the Corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan, adopt the agenda as amended to include item 2.3.2, 12.3.2025 financial statements. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Caulfield, seconded by Councillor Quad. Any comments or questions? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest with anything on the agenda for anyone this evening? No.
No, by me.
Okay, I don't see any. The mayor's address. I've attended 4 meetings since the last council meeting. One of them was on the road transportation study from the County of Renfrew, and the comment period was over for that when it was circulated originally. So there was some great discussion, and some of the points are sent back to be amended. So they'll be coming out with different amendments to some parts of it. And basically that was the month for me. The clerk's report.
Just a couple items tonight. I just want to remind everybody of the public meeting next week at the arena for the proposed zoning bylaw. And that's at 7 p.m. And we were asked by KHR Township if we would be interested in teaming up with them again this year for the annual Rockathon. So are there any members of council that are interested in rocking this year?
What date is it?
June 19th.
That is a
Friday.
probably I can.
Okay.
How many do we need?
There's 3 time spots available. So
Are you going?
Are you kidding? I just went in and asked $5,000 from my employer for the fire department.
Okay,
And I don't want to go in and ask for more.
no. Okay. So we need 2 more people then.
yeah, it could be 1 or 2 staff members.
Yeah.
If council isn't available.
I've gone the last 2 years, but I don't know if I'm.
Well, I got in the last 3. You only go for an hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
I'll think about it much more.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Look to my schedule.
All right,
Okay,
that's it. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Okay, delegations. We have a delegation from the Renfrew County Road Supervisors Association. Steve Boland and okay. You can have a seat down at the end.
You don't want to wait? You can have mine.
Thank you.
Oh, you don't want to be?
No, I don't want to be at the, yeah. This face is made for radio. I guess I need to turn this on.
It was on.
Oh, it was on. Okay,
There you
there, see? you get a retired guy here and he doesn't know what to do with this technology anymore. Well, thank you very much, Mary Ann, members of council, for affording us a bit of time to talk about what we think is an extremely exciting opportunity coming to Renfrew County. I was saying to Trevor on the way here, 4 weeks from today, we'll be halfway through. So it's coming fast and it's exciting. That is the AYORS Municipal Public Works Trade Show, and it's taking place in Petawawa on June 3rd and 4th, so 4 weeks from now. This is a big trade show, and I'm going to walk through the slide deck. I believe it's up on the screen. Just to give you a bit of information, you know, the Renfrew County Road Supervisors Association, of which your municipality is a member, and Jordan is a member, were selected to host the 2026 show by the Ontario Road Supervisors Association. And it's quite an honor to host it. We have hosted it previously, and we're happy to do it again. It's a very prestigious event, and we're doing it in partnership with the County of Renfrew and the town of Petawawa. A little bit of information about the Renfrew County Association. We are comprised of all of the municipalities within the County of Renfrew, the First Nation community at Pikwakanagan, road authorities in the City of Ottawa, CNL at Chalk River, and Garrison Petawawa as well. So a broad representation of public works authorities around the area. In addition, we have numerous supplier and contractor representatives that sit as part of the membership at our regular meetings and participate in our activities throughout the year. And then folks such as myself, who are retired public works officials that just can't seem to get away from the business. We've made, you know, over our careers, we've made some really good contacts, and we feel it's important to maintain those contacts and to continue to support the Renfrew County Road Supervisors Association where and when we can. The AYORS Trade Show is a showcase of products and services and materials and technologies available to the public works industry. And in all aspects of the industry, I'll get into the details a little more shortly, but it's a broad brush when we think about public works. It's considered to be one of the largest, if not the largest, trade show of its kind in Canada, and typically draws more than 2,000 visitors and over 200 exhibitors at the trade show. So it's a big deal to have it coming to little old Renfrew County. And we're excited, as I said earlier. It's a 2-day opportunity, and it provides an opportunity for public and private sector individuals in the public works industry to get together and share information, technical developments, see new materials, new services, new products that are available out there, new equipment. We're having some exciting equipment coming there's some robotic equipment that's coming. So that's kind of neat. And we're hoping to do some demonstrations outside with some of that equipment as well. And all dealing with municipal public works and core infrastructure projects. It allows suppliers to connect with municipal officials, both your staff and yourselves, to talk about what they have and what they offer and what your issues are and what your needs are. So it's a good opportunity. We've done this twice in Renfrew County previously. In 1992, the AYORS trade show, one of the earliest trade shows, was held in Petawawa at the Civic Center. And then again in 2014 at the Nick Smith Center in Arnprior. And I was honored to be the chair of the 2014 trade show committee. So I have a little bit of a vested interest in this year's trade show, want to make sure that it's done better than what we did in 2014. So I'm riding the guys a little hard, right, Trevor? A little bit of chronology for you. We started this process back in December of 2023, so 2.5 years ago. And you might wonder, why does it take that long? Well, by the time you got all of your ducks in order and everything is up and running and ready to go, that's how long it takes to put a trade show like this together. And in 2023, December, our local association submitted an expression of interest to our provincial association to host the trade show. And then in August of 2024, AOR's directors approved our application to host the trade show, and we were off and running. In January 2025, the executive committee of the trade show, the local committee, was stood up, and our first meeting was held in February of 2025. And at that point, we really had to hit the ground running. We started with advertising and promotion and get the word out to our supplier reps and to the other roads authorities across the province of Ontario that in 2026, the AOR's trade show would be held here in Renfrew County. And then in February of 2025, I got tapped on the shoulder and was asked to become the ambassador for this year's trade show. One of the guys said, well, you got nothing else to do. You're retired. Why don't you come and help us out? And, I'm glad I said yes, because I'm enjoying it. It's nice to visit with the local municipal councils and see some familiar faces that I haven't seen for quite some time. So that's a real treat for me as well. In 2025 February, we also confirmed the Pembroke Shores Golf Course as the golf course for the annual Ross Mackenzie Golf Tournament. That's been going on for, I think, about 35 or 37 years now, and it's in honor of Ross Mackenzie, who was a previous director for AORS provincially. And then in May of 2025, the final version of the trade show booklet that you have in front of you was printed. We did up 1,200 copies. And Trevor tells me today we still have a few copies left, so we've left some extras with you, or we'll leave some extras with you if you want to circulate them to your staff and others. That would be great. Then we don't need any left over. In another month's time, we won't need them. But it's a hot seller. Let's put it that way. Also, in June of last year, a number of members of our executive planning committee attended the trade show, the 2025 trade show that was held in Woodstock, Ontario. And the whole purpose for us two purposes for us attending there. One was to sell booths at the trade show and encourage suppliers to come and visit Renfrew County. The other was to learn from the experiences that the people in Woodstock were having in organizing their trade show so that we could make the trade show here the best it can possibly be. And even up till today, we continue to organize, promote the organization of the trade show and attendance at the trade show. Just a few key personnel there, myself and Trevor, of course, some others that you may or may not be familiar with through your dealings with other road authorities at the county level or at the local municipal level. And many of these folks are doing this because they have a passion for what we do in public works. A site profile. AORS initially, when you approach them, asks a lot of questions. And you have to tell them why your site is best. We were in a competition when we submitted our application with some other local associations. And we wanted to make sure we had the best, of course. But some of the questions they asked is, where is your site? How close is it to the nearest provincial highway? Because access is important. So we do have good access to Highway 17. We have quite a number of hotel rooms within about a 45-minute drive of the site. That's important, especially for the suppliers who'll be staying overnight. Some of them are arriving on Monday and will be staying right through until Friday morning. Others are coming at different times throughout the days of the trade show. We also need to make sure that there was a number of restaurants that were available because the suppliers in particular, and many of the visitors as well, need to eat while they're here. So we had to make sure we had a capacity to accommodate them within local restaurants. And then, as I mentioned, we needed to have a good 18-hole golf course that was capable of hosting a tournament of 144 golfers. And I can tell you that as of a week or so ago, the golf course, the golf tournament is sold out. So we're very, very pleased with that. Now, somebody might back out. We do have a waiting list, but we're sold out on the golf course, which is excellent. And that's a big deal for these folks too, because there's a lot of networking that takes place with golf clubs in hand. I'm not a golfer, so I won't be out there golfing, but I'm going to be there visiting and welcoming the folks that are attending to Renfrew County. And of course, we needed to make sure that we had all of the amenities that we're so accustomed to in this day and age, things like Wi-Fi and cell phone access and hydro easily accessible to the booths, indoor booths and outdoor booths, and sufficient parking for all of the visitors that are going to be coming. So with all of that, all of our we had all of that, and AOR said, yes, you've got a good presentation, you've got a good application, take the ball and run with it. And I can tell you that our group has done an exceptional job. I mentioned that the golf tournament is sold out. We are also sold out. I think we have 3 booths left, Trevor, outdoor booths. Every booth indoors has been sold for quite some time, been booked. All of our booths outdoors were booked. In fact, we had to open up another dozen booths outdoors. So we've exceeded the expectations of AORs when we started on this. A site here, and there's a layout that's a better quality copy in your booklet of the indoor booths within the arena surface. And these booths are roughly 10 feet by 12 feet, 10 feet by 10 feet, typical of what you might see at the local home shows that typically often take place at this time of year. And the layout is very similar. So, you'll see vendors from all aspects of the public works industry. The outdoor booths are larger. They are predominantly occupied by the folks that will be bringing in equipment, snowplows, loaders, graders, excavators, all kinds of things like that, toys that they won't let me play with because I might hurt myself or somebody else. But they're sold out, and we're very, very excited about that. We'll have an area for food trucks. We'll have an area set up for tables and a tent where people can get in and get a snack and something to eat. And then, of course, washroom areas on site as well. So you might wonder, who are the exhibitors that are coming and what do they bring to the trade show? Well, from all areas that might be public works related. Roads and bridges, construction, maintenance, rehabilitation, engineering, building maintenance, facility maintenance, communications, emergency disaster management, engineering, surveying, design, contract administration, equipment and fleets, all of the new electronic technology, GIS, GPS, internet technologies, parks and grounds. That's something that's relatively new to the AOR's trade show in recent years. But parks and grounds maintenance is a big thing. Stormwater and flood control. We're all familiar with what happens here in the spring of the year and how important stormwater and flood control is in our area. Traffic and pedestrian control, things like transit, public transit, some of the I'll call it semi-public transit, where contract or agencies or organizations are contracted to provide on-call transit in locations. Underground utility locates. One of the most important, in my opinion, is opportunities for staff training and education. There'll be vendors there that will offer those services as well. Excuse me. In terms of our visitors, they're as varied as our exhibitors. People will be coming from all over Ontario, Western Quebec. Down often we get people coming from northern US states into the trade show, and there'll be visitors from various segments of the public works industry. Obviously, we're focusing on our municipal partners, but there'll be visitors from contractors, from engineering firms, from a variety of others, consulting engineers, and etc. And this year, we've opened it up to the high school students and to the students at Algonquin College. We feel it's important to encourage young people to learn about public works and think about that as a future career. And I can speak for my own 42 years before retirement in the public works sector that there's lots of variety. And, there's nothing you can't do in public works. Nothing that you can't have opportunity to do. So it's a great thing for the students to come as well and see what it's all about. And we're hoping that some of them will be able to follow a public works career path in the future. We're also hoping that some of our exhibitors and some of the visitors that come to the area will come early and spend some extra time here, some vacation time within the valley, within Renfrew County, and or stay late and spend some time visiting the county and the valley, because that's important to us from a tourism and an economic development perspective as well. In addition, we're really hoping that, and this would be a great opportunity to showcase what we have here, is to encourage some of the businesses that will be in attendance at the trade show to set up shop somewhere in Renfrew County. Whether that's a contractor, consulting engineer, somebody else. We have a good way of doing business and a great place to do business. So we're hoping that that happens. And come and enjoy the amenities that we have here and all that we've got. The trade show also gives you and your staff an opportunity to get involved in the planning and organization of the trade show. So, you know, in terms of Jordan and his staff, perhaps there's something they are interested in assisting with, and we're happy to bring them along and welcome them into the group. But it's also a wonderful opportunity from an educational perspective to network with the folks that are at the trade show. I'll say selling their wares or trying to sell their wares, but finding out about how they do business, what works in other areas, what kind of issues are they seeing that you might be seeing here, and get a chance to talk to them. It's right in our back door. We don't have to travel to Toronto or Montreal or Windsor or parts far away and spend a lot of money on traveling and a lot of money on hotel rooms and the like. Also gives us an opportunity to promote ourselves, our municipalities, our businesses and tourism organizations here as well. So we'll be doing some of that while we're there, or while we are here. And then I mentioned earlier the golf tournament. It is sold out, but that's an opportunity. If you're an avid golfer, let Trevor know. His contact information is part of the slide deck, and he'll put you on the waiting list, and maybe we can slide you in there somewhere. So where do we go from here? What are our next steps? Well, we continue to promote the trade show. We've been around to most, not all of the local municipalities within the county, but most of them to promote the trade show. And we continue to promote the trade show with our vendors, with our partners in the public works sector, and encourage them to attend. There's also an opportunity to enlist more suppliers. So as recently as the last few days, we've been able to encourage a couple of new suppliers to support the golf tournament, to provide prizes for the golf tournament. Everybody likes to win a prize, right? And encourage them to do that. It gets their name out in front of the vendors and the other attendees, but it also helps support the trade show. And then we're continuing with the ongoing preparations for the trade show. So we do have a couple of requests that we'd like you to consider. One is that, and we hope that we will do this, is that you give your staff permission to attend the trade show and learn about what's happening, what some of the new things are, reconnect with some of the people that sometimes it's awkward and difficult to connect with because of distance. But give them the opportunity to attend the trade show one or both days. And I know staffing is a challenge. So maybe not everybody can go the same day, but I'll leave that up to you and up to Jordan to manage as you're well able to do. And as I mentioned earlier, we're looking for volunteers, continue to look for volunteers at the trade show to assist with getting people in and out, parking and setting up the booths and all of that kind of thing. If you have staff that are interested and you can spare them a few hours or a day, that would be great. Some of the municipalities have said to us, we'd like to send you some staff. How would it be if we sent them in the morning to help out and then the afternoon to visit the show? Great opportunity. So that's an option that you might want to consider. Now you might wonder about this, how much is this costing and everything else? There's no fee for anybody to attend the trade show. We do request that they pre-register, and that can be done through the AOR's website. The information is on a little bit later. But it just makes it easier when they get there. They can simply go in and say, my name is Steve Boland, and pick up the tag, and away they go. And it lets us know who's there and that they're going to be attending. There's no cost for anybody to attend the trade show. There is a fee for exhibitors, though, to set up a booth at the trade show. And with that, there's funds that have come back over the years to the local association. And I can draw your attention to the 2014 trade show that was held in Arnprior. And at the end of it all, when all of the bills were paid, our local association sat with just shy of $56,000 in revenue that we realized through the trade show. So not only was it a boon for the local economy and for AORs and the vendors, it was a boon for our local association. When we got that money in, our executive committee sat down and decided, we asked, what should we do with that money? And we decided we wanted to put most of that money, if not all of that money, back into the community that supports us and that we live within. So in doing that, we set up bursaries for each of the high schools within Renfrew County. We started out at $200 each high school per year. That's recently been bumped up to $500 because the bursary has done very well, and it continues to do well. And we're hoping that that bursary will stay in effect for many years to come to help students going off to further their education. Each of the 5 hospitals in Renfrew County received a $2,000 donation from our local association. The 2 long-term care homes owned by the county, Bonisher Manor and Miramichi Lodge, each received a $2,500 donation to help make the lives of the residents at those 2 facilities a little bit better. We supported the School Fund for Learning, a School Food for Learning fund, to the tune of $2,500. We want to make sure that those students going to school that maybe were struggling had something to eat and were able to focus their energies a little better on their education. And then we felt it was important to support our own membership as well. So we set up a membership training fund within the Renfrew County Road Supervisors Association. $8,000 was set aside to help our local membership attend training opportunities that we could bring into the area. Things like grader training and backhoe loader training, WHMIS training, a whole host of things that apply to the day-to-day operations in a public works organization. And then we had a little bit of money left over, $333.41, that went into a general fund to cover off things like paper and those general administrative expenses. So with that, I'll wrap things up by saying the further information, you reach out to me or to Trevor or to Chris Mantha, who is our AOR's rep locally, if you need more information. Also through AOR's and the AOR's website, there's more information about the trade show there. But we're happy to answer any questions that you have that way. And with that, Marianne, thank you once again for your time and your encouragement and your patience. And we hope to see you all on the 3rd and 4th of June in Petawawa. And hopefully the weather cooperates and we'll have a really good trade show. If there are any questions at all, I'm happy to respond and we'll go from there.
Thank you very much. That was very informative to see that there's dollars stay in our community from the trade. So that's good. So any questions from council?
Not presently, other than great presentation, Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Real good.
Looks like you're set up for what's going to be a really good show. So
Yeah, I hope so.
yeah, looks like it.
See the good weather.
Yeah, that's right. It always helps, right? So
Yeah, it'd be nice to have good weather.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you again.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
thank you.
enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. John,
Okay, so I see our other delegation isn't here. We'll move on to the adoption of minutes. We have a resolution that we, the council, for the corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lindock and Raglan hereby adopt the minutes of the regular council meeting of April 1st, 2026, and the special council meeting of April 9th, 2026, as presented. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments or questions?
Good to meet you.
A call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Okay, we have a resolution regarding social media. That council for the corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lindock and Raglan hereby directs staff to turn off all commenting on all township Facebook posts effective immediately for the purpose of protecting the township's reputation, and further that staff bring a policy to this effect to the next regular council meeting. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Banks, seconded by
Second.
Councillor Keller. Okay, and we have a staff report.
So the staff report pretty much lays it all out. The township web Facebook page is a page to inform residents of the going-ons. It has turned into quite the platform for other content. And we're putting this option out there to council to turn the comments off as the county of Renfrew and the county of Renfrew and the town of Renfrew. County of Renfrew and the town of Renfrew, sorry, too many Renfrews. It's something to consider if council has any questions about the report.
I know there was a big discussion on this one at county council, and you know, it gets to the point where it's slanderous. It gets harassing to employees, and it's really not the purpose of what the municipal page is. It's for making people aware of what's going on, posting notices, whatever. It's not a free-for-all to, you know. So, I mean, it's up to council to decide. But if you review some of the stuff that's there, you can see what's going on.
Well, I know for myself, I like option number 3.
Okay.
Yeah, for myself too, I would be happy with option number 3. That's what I kind of had wrote in my notes. It's unfortunate, I mean, in this day and age that, the comments that I received on Facebook in regards to some of the stuff that we put on it, and, you know, I'm definitely in favor of keeping the Facebook page for, you know, giving you know, our residents what's going on and
The information.
exactly. So.
No, I'd agree as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with option 3, and I mean, we're here to listen to the constituents, so if somebody has a complaint, that you're ready for to the council.
Yeah.
That's the best platform is this council.
Yeah.
The meeting.
That's right, that's right. Yeah, I kind of look at some of the comments that were on the Facebook page, and
Yeah.
never have I been approached as an individual, about any of these comments,
Mhm.
so. Yeah.
No, and it's not something you want to get involved with, you know, back and forth, because it's not going anywhere. It's not going to benefit anyone. No,
Bring in media relations to
No.
comment on it. So.
no. And you know, if someone has asked me something and I reply to it and they keep coming back and coming back and coming back, I just drop the conversation and leave it be because, you know, you're not going to, they're not listening.
But that's typically not the right platform to do that.
No. It's a very different world now to deal with people with social media. I mean, social media is good, but boy, it can be very damaging.
No, like I said, in larger organizations, you hire media relations to take care of all that, and then
Yeah.
have with legal, so we're not in a position to respond. So again, the option for you is the best, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
we have a platform for constituents to bring concerns, and that's
Yeah.
the way we should go forward.
So do we have a resolution for that?
Option 3 is the resolution that's on the table. It's
Okay.
turning the comments off, and
Okay.
the option just adds that we'll have a redirect message saying contact the
Yeah.
office or the or the website
Yep,
for further
and
information.
to bring the policy.
And to bring the policy to the next
Yeah.
meeting. So that would be a policy in the same line as the County of Renfrew's policy versus the Town of Renfrew's.
Yeah. Okay. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. We have a resolution that we, the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan, hereby accept the fire chief report, should it be? No, the fire chief wildfire season report as information only. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Caulfield. Mr. Fire Chief.
So wildfire season officially began April 1st, and to say we hit the ground running is an understatement. So it's been busy, not just here, but all around us, and a lot of calls for help and support from all around us. And I'm happy to say we were able to answer those calls and help our neighbors out during some difficult times recently. So just a list of kind of what we've tackled so far, and let's hope things green up and we get some rain in the forecast. So
Yeah, everyone's been busy. And
we did have one fire on home turf that resulted in a fine. The individual was burning outside of burn hours and did not have a permit, so they were charged accordingly.
and I see there's other departments that have laid some charges too. In fact, I think one of them was looking at cost recovery. So,
And that gets expensive.
yeah. Because it's just not safe.
No.
And the big one down on Highway 41 on Sunday, they figure was from a large machine. I think it was a skidder maybe. It's in the Eganville Leader that was driving down the road, and they figure sparks from the exhaust, and it started on both sides of the road. And one of the local farmers he had 600 bales of hay, figures he lost 300 because the fire got into them. So, you know, like you just don't know.
Yeah.
So we just want to say, be careful.
And just a reminder to our residents too that keep an eye on conditions. Permits are required for anything larger than a campfire, so they're free. And the guidelines are listed on the permit, so it's pretty straightforward.
And the wind hasn't helped.
No, that's for sure. So
Okay, any further comments? No, call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, none. The motion is carried. Okay. Okay, the resolution that we, the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindock and Raglan hereby accept this report as information only. That's the operations manager report. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Heller. Mr. Henry.
Oh, just a small update that, with spring here, we're working as hard as we can to get the roads back in shape. It was a tough start as we were still missing our second grader. So council is aware that we lost the engine in the 92 cat grader last summer and late last summer. So it was out of service. We sent it in at the end of January, beginning of February to a repair shop to get the motor rebuilt. And we just got it back this past weekend. So it's in full service on the roads right now and just playing the catch-up game. So
How has all the roads received a first grade?
not all roads have received the first grade yet, no.
No.
So we worked on the higher priority ones through roads, the heavily traveled roads first, the ones that were in worse shape. And we had some washout issues on a couple of them that we needed to take care of. So we've got those issues out of the way and now everything else is getting taken care of. So within the next week, we should have everything done.
One's over. Okay.
So, and just thanks to the pothole grant that we applied for, was able to pay for the repairs in the grader. So
Yeah.
good.
Any other comments or questions from council?
No.
I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, none. The motion is carried. We have correspondence. A resolution that we, the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindock and Raglan hereby accept the correspondence as circulated. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Caulfield. Okay, so everyone's had a chance to look at the correspondence.
I'm in support of the Tanzania.
I was looking at 10.6, the regulation regarding blue boxes, being that like any community facility or businesses, they're like whoever's manufacturing the recyclables isn't responsible for that. And I don't think that's fair. Our businesses are struggling just as bad as anyone else. It's the same type of recycling. Why isn't it included? You know, instead of them having to pay. And the municipality have to pay to have it taken away when all of the other stuff is free. Just my thoughts. Anything else from any council?
I just have a question, that's all, just with the county council summary. I was just curious what the 1-year pilot of the hospital to home initiative was.
Which month is it in?
It's 10/4,
Yeah, but is it March or April?
April. Do you know, Kevin?
Well, I know how it works in the US.
Yeah, it's just saying here, it's a 1-year pilot, a hospital home initiative, and it's supporting low-income seniors by providing access to community housing. from hospital to home services. So I'm
That's
just curious
the-
what that is.
That's, it's like, there's gonna be two rooms in Barry's Bay and two in Renfrew.
Mhm.
That if someone's released from the hospital and it's not safe for them to go home, or they don't have anyone there, that they can be put into one of those rooms. So they can get the care. Yeah, that's what it is. And there'll be two in Barry's Bay and two in Renfrew.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a bigger program that runs similar program, and we were at a summit last week in Toronto where a gentleman from the US came up to talk about the hospital home program there. And where they're moving people that really shouldn't be in hospitals at all to their homes, but you have to build the infrastructure and supply chain around all those pieces so they can receive all the services that they would get in a hospital at home in a better environment for them. So it frees up beds in the hospitals. And they're talking about, some hospitals, depending on the size of the hospital, you can see 40% savings or bed openings. And it does cost a little bit less money as well to get at home, once you have the proper logistics set up.
Yeah.
You need a different kind of supply chain, different than an Amazon where
Yeah,
Amazon is very linear, right?
Yeah.
And this kind of program is not a linear supply chain, so we
Yeah.
have to look at getting that set up where we have these things, but they're talking about, right now, about 87,000 people on the program, and they're gonna jump to, in 2 years, to 200,000 people.
Wow.
And it's scaling across different states.
yeah, it's unfortunate that a lot of our hospital beds are used for long-term care.
Yep, well, no, because there's no homes.
No, they've nowhere to go. Mhm.
And we struggle with that locally as well.
Yeah, we do.
Deep River was lucky, they just got their zap and running. I met with the CEO last week and it's pretty exciting after.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got 87 more beds, I think. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really inspiring to speak with her.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Lots of
that's,
good ideas there. And yeah, I think we'll look at some of those things as well for our area.
That's good.
good.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so that's where we're at with correspondence. Is it okay to do a friendly amendment to the resolution to include 10.3 and 10.6? Okay. It's okay? Okay, I'll call for the vote then. All those in favor? Opposed, none, the motion is carried. And we'll go to new business and the asset management plan. We have a resolution that the council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindock and Raglan hereby approve and adopt the asset management plan, non-core assets report mandated by Ontario Regulation 588/17. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Quad. So any comments or questions on those 49 pages?
Interesting report.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I,
It leaves a room for thought and planning. It's not bad to have the information,
no,
but
it's,
it's all about long-term planning.
yeah,
You have to look at, I would think with a program, with what I see in our township, a 5 and a 10-year plan almost, you have to almost reach out that far.
I would think 10-year would be fair.
So like, with a 5 and a 10-year plan as you're working with, but I mean, you couldn't achieve all these things in 5 years.
No,
We wouldn't have the funding to do that.
no,
And we couldn't put the burden, I don't think, onto the ratepayers.
No.
definitely not. It wouldn't even
No.
be, it wouldn't be affordable.
No. That's why I'm saying it, reaching out as far as 10 years.
Yeah.
If you built a plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's interesting to have that information.
It is good.
And we have all of the information in the first part of it for our roads, so now we have it on. But I mean, just to look at, to replace our equipment, like,
It's big numbers.
yeah,
That's why it takes a vision way out there.
Yeah.
To do that. It's achievable, but it's fair.
It's why we have a 1992 grader.
All things considering, I don't think the township's in that bad a shape with the equipment, honestly.
No,
We're doing quite well.
I think we are too.
The things I see with you guys work with and the changes, the changes in the last 4 years, I think you're doing well.
Like to see the report before we meet you,
Mhm.
see what.
It would not have been pretty.
Been a lot scarier to see than what it is right now.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of surprises in the report, honestly.
No.
These are, but it's nice to have it put together where it's in one document.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little easier to see the full picture.
So will it be put into one document, part one for the roads and part two for the non-core assets?
We could do that.
Yeah, because it'd be nice to have it in one document, just the two parts. Okay. So no more questions?
No?
No.
We'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. The motion is carried. We have a resolution. This was from our last meeting, right? Okay. It's a resolution, be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindock and Raglan support the correspondence from the Association of Ontario Road Supervisors regarding the request for provincial legislation amendments, health and safety concerns, and further that this resolution be forwarded to the Premier of Ontario, the Solicitor General of Ontario, the Minister of Emergency Preparedness and Response, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Minister of Transportation, Acting Minister of Infrastructure, Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke MP, and MPP, AMO, AORS, and all Ontario municipalities. Could I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Banks, seconded by
Okay.
Councillor Caulfield. Any comments or questions? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. The motion is carried. This is another resolution from our last meeting. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindock and Raglan support the correspondence from the Township of Perry to maintain and protect reduced rate postal distribution for library materials, and further that this resolution be forwarded to the Township of Perry, Minister of Government, Transportation, Public Services and Procurement, Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke MP and MPP, and all Ontario municipalities. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Keller. Any comments or questions? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. The motion is carried. The letter of support for the Alto high-speed rail. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindock and Raglan support the correspondence from the Eastern Wardens Caucus to oppose the Alto high-speed rail project in its current form, and further that this resolution be forwarded to the Prime Minister of Canada, the Minister of Transportation, President and CEO of Alto, EOWC members of Parliament, Premier of Ontario, EOWC members of Provincial Parliament, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, AMO, Roma, Ontario Federation of Agriculture, Eastern Ontario Mayor's Caucus, all EOWC municipalities, and Eastern Ontario First Nations partners, and all Ontario municipalities. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments or questions? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. The motion is carried. This one was from last meeting also. Be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lindock and Raglan support the correspondence from the Township of Papineau, Cameron regarding Ontario Veterinary College expansion of enrollment capacity, and further that this resolution be forwarded to the Ontario Veterinary College, the Ontario Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Agribusiness, the Canadian Veterinary Medical Association, Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, Minister of Colleges, Universities, Research Excellence and Security, AMO, and all Ontario municipalities. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Keller. Any comments or questions? Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yep.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Oh, okay. The Minister of Education, Paul Calandra, held a press conference on April 6th stating that he will maintain the position of elected school board trustees. Therefore, this letter of support is no longer relevant because we supported a resolution that we would continue to have school board trustees. And yeah, he has.
That's good.
He's retracted that, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Okay, we have the approval for the 2026 PSAP budget, which is something that must be done every year.
Mhm.
And the resolution is that we, the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lindock and Raglan, approve the 2026 PSAP budget as per Ontario Regulation 284/09. Could I get a mover for that, please?
I can move.
Moved by Councillor Caulfield, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments or questions or? Okay. So, and I seen that that's the one where our long-term debt increased, and that's because of the truck, right? Yeah. So I gotta move this. Okay, any questions? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. And we have a resolution for financial reports that we, the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lindock and Raglan, accept the year-to-date budget variance and the monthly expenses summary as presented. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Caulfield, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments or questions?
No.
The only thing I seen that was the livestock valuers, and we have no control over that. So it's something we have to accept. Any other questions? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. We have a resolution to adopt our 2025 audited financial statements that we, the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lindock and Raglan, accept the 2025 financial statements. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Quad. Any comments or questions? I think we pretty well looked at that when we were doing our budget. So, okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. We have a resolution to appoint by bylaw our building official. And it reads that we, the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brudenell, Lindock and Raglan, hereby adopts a bylaw number 2026 25 being a bylaw to appoint Kelsey Smith as chief building official, having been read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Quad. Any comments or questions? Call for the vote. All those in favor?
No.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. And we also have a resolution that we, the council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan, hereby adopts bylaw number 2026-26, being a bylaw authorizing execution of agreement between the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan and the corporation of the township of Carlo Mayo, having been read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Quad. And this is for the appointment to enter into agreement for bylaw enforcement services. Okay, so did I get a mover?
Yeah.
I did, okay. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yep.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. And we have the zoning amendment that we dealt with at our public meeting before this meeting. That we, the council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan, hereby adopts bylaw number 2027. Bylaw 2026-27, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 8708 of the former township of Brudenell and Lyndoch, as amended, having been read a first and second time and finally passed. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Banks. Okay, so you changed the bylaw number. Will this change be reflected on our new zoning maps and that?
I would imagine so. We'll confirm that with the county.
Yeah, because it's so close. I think it should be, being that it's a change to commercial. Okay, could I get a mover for, did I get a mover?
Yes.
Gee, I'm really getting my movers and seconders there tonight. Any other questions? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. The motion is carried. And so what's 2026-28? Oh, okay. So what bylaw?
Acquisition of land.
Okay. That we, the council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan, hereby adopts bylaw 2026-28, being a bylaw for the purpose of rescinding bylaw number 2025-44, pertaining to the acquisition of land for municipal purposes, having been read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Could we get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Keller. Any comments or questions?
No.
I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Okay. And we have a motion that we, the council for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan, go into closed session pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001, Section 239, Sub 2, for the purposes of subsection B, regarding personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments or questions? Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Thank you, Lee. Okay, welcome back to our open meeting. We have a resolution that council comes out of the closed session at 8:29 p.m. 8:33 PM. So can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Kaufman, second by Councillor Quad. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. In closed session, council received confidential information regarding personnel matters about an employee and information regarding a legal matter. We have a resolution for the confirmation bylaw that we, the council, for the corporation of the township of Brudenell, Lyndoch, and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 2026-29, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the May 6, 2026 regular meeting of council, having been read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Moved by Councillor Kaufman, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments or questions?
No.
Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Nope.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. We have a resolution to adjourn, that this meeting adjourns at 8:34 PM. Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Quad. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried.